Hello and welcome to Galactic Goddess Podcast show. I'm your host, Radhaa Nilia, and I just wanted to pop on and just share with you a little bit about this journey. Where is it going? We are being called to really come into ourselves and into who we truly are beyond this one 3D aspect of ourselves. We are merging timelines. So that means we are merging our past, present, future, parallel lifetimes, because we coexist in many realities. And we're sort of realigning and reconfiguring everything. And this particular life is very special because we are born and existing in the time of Kali Yuga. So we are going through a very powerful cycle that is leading us and led us through light, through the dark, and we are descending through the darkness and ascending back into the light, which we came. This world and this reality is very easy to get lost in many other people's realities of what's real. And all of them can be relevant to wherever you are in any particular time of your life. So that means no one has to be wrong. But you want to start gathering all of your pieces and bringing it back so you can be balanced and whole. Because this world can scatter your energy and people can pull your energy and manipulate your energy. And those days are over if you choose for them to be over. So it's about choosing sovereignty. It's about choosing your path, why you came here. We all came here for a very special reason. For some, it is to participate in the ascension process, to be anchors of light here on Earth. And that is part of being a starseed. So, like any journey, any good book, any good movie, what happens? You get lost along the way. You forget who you are on a soul level. Get caught up in the 3D reality. And it can be very tricky to come out of those illusions. Because that's what they are, is illusions after all. So, we all play the energy of illusion, and that's what makes this reality so interesting, is it's filled with duality. So many lessons of duality. And they're valuable. They're valuable for you to learn from and to grow from. And they're valuable for you to also transcend and transmute and to release. Let go. Let go of all that no longer serves you. because we need to let go of the burdens, let go of all that stuff. And I am an empath, probably like you. And I used to cry about everything, and I would feel so burdened. I think I have to take everyone's pain and suffering on and make it my own because they couldn't handle it. But since I was stronger, I carry the burden. And it took me a long time to realize that love is not lifting that off of someone else. Love is empowering yourself as a beacon of light so you can inspire others to do the same. Because ultimately, if they didn't learn the lesson, guess what? They have to repeat it again. So we want to help people by standing in our truth, standing in our light, and being who we are meant to be. So I wanted to share a little bit of a meditation, and I don't even know yet what it is, but I just felt and I heard the call to share an activation so that you can really feel more into yourself, to come back home to your beautiful divine being and lovingly release all that is not you. Because as we are moving through these timelines, they're going to be different for everyone. Everyone's going to experience them based on where they are, as far as how much stuff they're holding on to, what they're letting go of, and are you learning our lessons, right? If we don't learn our lessons, we just go back into the same cycle. It's like a hamster wheel. Don't want to do that. And we've all been doing it. I'm certainly not above it. I have been through it all myself, like a lot. And so I don't regret any of it, and I think it's important to go through everything in life. Go through the darkness and go through the light. Because it is the darkness, and that's where we are in the Kali Yuga. We are in the descending, the darkness, or going through it. You can't escape that, but you can choose to move your vibration higher, to go up, to release all that no longer serves, release the beliefs of your ancestors. I've done a lot of ancestral clearing for myself and for my clients because it always shows up in their belief system. We inherit the trauma and the pain of our family up to 7 generations on both sides, so double it up. And we wonder, why do I feel this way? Because we are working through the karma and the karmic choices of our father, grandfather, great-great-grandfather, our forefathers, and our mothers. And so it's a lot of pain and trauma to hold inside of your being. And it's not impossible to start letting it go. And that's the work that I do. Part of it is in helping people to release old stuck energy, old trauma. And it's fun. I love it. Because when someone lets go of something they've been holding on to, it can feel like sticky. You can feel like they're in quicksand. You can feel like they're in the mud and they're just stuck. And so when you start to release that, you're now opening up space inside of your being where your true essence can shine, and you can start to step into who you truly are. So I don't want to keep this video too long. So if you'd like to join me in this healing meditation, you can just take a deep breath, breathing in all the way through your stomach, and letting go. Breathing in again. And sigh. Again. And release. Just shake a little bit, moving your shoulders, your neck, allowing yourself to just let that energy move. Sometimes we forget to breathe. We get so stuck in shallow breathing. I used to be a shallow breather myself, so I know shallow breathing is because you're like in fight or flight mode all the time. So when you take deep breaths deep in your belly, you're letting all that life force energy flow. We can get stuck breathing like right here in this band, you know, and we want to breathe deep. Because breath is life. And as a human, we need that. So you can close your eyes if you want to, and just make yourself as comfortable as you want. I'm just going to tune in to what is the best healing, what is the best meditation energy to bring. So if you want to, we can call in and activate part of your star code within you. If you are a magical star being, we are so much more than we think we are. So breathing into that. We're going to start to do some clearing work. So we're going to start to clear feelings of anger, resentment you may have towards one or two or a few people. So if you'd like to join, just say yes, and here we go. So calling in the ascended masters, galactic star beings of light, and all those who have never been programmed by the dark. And allow yourself to breathe into this. I'm going to ask to go up to the heart of the Creator. And in this space, you're going to feel very loved. You're going to feel love. Allow your heart to just open. Allow your heart to open to its fullness. And when your heart opens, so does everything else, right? You can feel places where you feel more tender. You can feel where you're feeling stuck or resentment. And so I'm gonna go into your heart energy. Just say yes if you'd like me to. I'm gonna go and start clearing out heart space. You can just say yes. Clearing out any old energy, any stuck energy. And just allow yourself to receive. I have like over a dozen modalities, so I integrate different ones. So I'm going to send some healing energy to your heart chakra now. Breathe into your heart and tap on your heart, your thymus section, tap on your heart. Just allow your energy to clear. Don't have to hold on. Loosening up that energy. It's light. Allow lightness to come. Little sprinkles of stardust coming in. Allowing light codes to come in. Come in now through your heart chakra. Feel that tingling sensation of gratitude and joy. It's like, ooh, exciting. Something exciting is going to happen. Breathe into that. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm already tuned into the energy of people who are watching this. And it feels like excitement. It can even feel like your heart's beating a little because you're allowing the energy to flow. You're allowing yourself to feel. And so it's almost like a little tingly feelings in your heart, letting these little light codes come in. Allowing your heart to just be tickled by the great gratitude and joy of just being alive right now. Feeling, woo, feels good. Yes. Expansion. And sometimes expansion is a little uncomfortable, so it can feel like, ooh, am I allowed to expand? And the answer is yes. We're here to expand. And of course, in life, we contract, expand. Eternally, that's how we grow. And we want to continue to expand and not just stay tight. Because in this kind of energy, nothing can flow in. The blessings cannot. They are like trying to come in and open to receive. So just keep on receiving and continue to allow this energy to flow. Even as I'm talking, my voice is activating. Your voice is activating to help activate codes within you, healing within you. I'm feeling like, yeah, it's like heaviness. There's like a pressure. I'm feeling pressure. It's coming against the joy is coming against this false wall. It says, this is how much happiness I can have, or this is how much joy I can have. This is my threshold. So there's like this little combat inside. So just keep letting the energy flow. And that's part of the process, is pushing up against those old black feelings, wherever they are, feeding in your heart. This is how much love I can have. Well, no, what if you can have this much love, this much love, this much love, this much, what if you have this much beyond? Try to challenge that and allow yourself to feel, to breathe. Calling in Goddess Kuan Yin. She's my galactic goddess, all right. Goddess of love and compassion. And I can feel a release coming through. It's coming through. Gentle. Gentle release. Gentle. The dogs are feeling. They express it. And there's a big release. There'll be like barking or something, like a helicopter will go over. There's always a resistance. There's always a resistance to growth. There's always a resistance to happiness. There's always a resistance to healing. Because the ego says, well, who will I be if I don't have this problem? If I have more happiness, who will I be? And it's for you to answer. But I know one thing for sure. My journey and my experience is that the more I allowed myself to feel, to heal, to grow, to let go of the old, it just changed everything. I'm not the same person I was last year, the year before. I am a different person every day because I'm allowing, the ups and the downs. I'm not saying I'm above that. I feel deeply, immensely. I feel, but because I stay on top of it, I'm feeling, I'm transmuting, it doesn't pile up. And that's what you don't want. It's like, because then when it comes down, it's like, whoa. You want to keep allowing the energy to flow in your heart. And that's why even when you experience heartbreak, which we all do, no one is exempt from that, you feel. And I allow myself to feel the pain fully, because running from it, it's not going to work. You have to feel it all the way through until it cycles out. You have to be patient. So if you're feeling right now, let that feeling keep cycling out, and you just say, all right, interesting, I'm feeling this and I'm letting it go. And I'm feeling this and I'm letting it go. Because as you start to heal all the suppressed feelings that you couldn't ever let out, they start to surface. And so there's a saying, it gets worse before it gets better. So if you're going through a challenging time, a dark night of soul, just know that it's because you're cycling out, an old cycle. We don't stay in any cycle forever. That's the thing about life. We're always shifting and changing and progressing. So just let it go. Just take a deep breath, take it out of there. And even as I'm talking, the heart is still working with the heart chakra. Still working with it. It's okay. Allow energy to flow. A deep breath. I feel a lot of stuff shifting for you in this energy clearing, because it doesn't matter if you're alive. What matters is, like, I set up the space and the intention that when you watch it, you get the healing and the activation that you need. It's all about the intention and creating the space. You know, that's how people manifest, is they create the space in their life, the intention, so things can show up. And sometimes people manifest things they want, but they didn't work through other aspects, and so their manifestation gets reversed, because they're like, this is how I want to be happy, I want to be in love, and then love comes into their life and they're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible, I'm so in love, I never thought I could feel this way. And then the old thinking that kept them from having this experience before starts to show up. It becomes a dominant aspect. So then they hit a happiness threshold and they're like, oh, I can't do this. And the old pattern steps in and they're like, this is how much happiness I can have. So then that manifestation gets reversed. Bye. So you want to create space in your heart. People think, if my heart is protected, I'll be safe. And so when something beautiful comes into their life and they can, at first they're like, oh, all the way open, but then they're like, they get scared. That heart closes. And then that manifestation leaves. And then they say, oh, love doesn't work. Love, it's not for me. It never happens. That's only in the movies, you know, whatever that is. And it's because why? This is closed. There's no space. There's no opening. The opening shut down out of fear. Fear dominates so many people. It's a program that's been embedded in all of our templates everywhere. So we've all felt the disposition of fear, and it's about saying, hey, that fear, I feel you, I acknowledge you, but you're not real. You're just a feeling, you know? You're not real. What's real is love. What's real is who I am. You know, when I'm feeling a frequency of love, and it doesn't even have to be for another person. When I feel love, like I'm grateful, I'm happy to be alive, I love my life. Love is real. It's us who think it's an illusion, because that's in every movie, you know, all the stuff. It's like something always gets in the way, someone's always getting in the way. And we look around and say, well, many people grew up with parents who didn't stay together. We look at the examples and we say, well, if it didn't happen for my parents, or then it can't happen for me, right? So that's why the lineage clearing is important. But really, everything starts from the heart chakra, right here, the high heart, because we have a 5D heart. The 5D heart is not worried about being broken. It's beyond being broken. The 5D heart is an ascended heart, and you can access that. So if you'd like to, let's go ahead and do a download to activate your 5D heart, so that you know it's real and you know it's an illusion, okay? The truth is, your heart is the most intelligent part of your body. The most intelligent, beyond the mind, because the mind is a trickster, monkey mind. those cycles, right? Our heart is the truth. And when we don't honor and listen to our heart is when we break our own heart. We usually do the breaking. And then we wonder why it doesn't feel good, you know? So, if you'd like to receive a 5D activation, transmission. Safe for you to awaken 5D heart. I'm going to send a transmission from my heart to yours to receive it. Feel that soft warmth. It's yours. You just have to be able to receive. So when we have so many blocks, we can't receive. So if you're feeling more, that means that you're open. If you feel like you're not feeling it, it means that you still need to do a little more work. And we have so many layers to our heart. And we have the 5D heart, we have the 3D heart. 3D heart's very limited. When we're born, we're already born, you know, with a broken heart because our lineage already had broken hearts. We carry those pain and information in our heart. So usually in our childhood, we get triggered into having a heartbreak. That's our first heartbreak. And everything else after that is just the reoccurring of that first wound. So it's really important to go back and think about when you had your first heartbreak as a child, and that will open up, you know, very specific areas in which you can start to recreate that energy flow, those beliefs that we carry for the rest of our life. And, you know, it's that moment that you have heartbreak as a child and you're like, I can't count on anybody, or I have to do everything myself, or it's not safe to love, you know, whatever that is for you, only you would know that. When I work with my clients, I go very deep. I mean, we ask questions and it's like a laser. We just go deeper and figure out, like a detective, where's a first point on their timeline in this lifetime, because we have many lifetimes, right? And as we progress, we do other lifetimes clearing as well, because we're so multifaceted. We're galactic. So just check in and see how you're feeling. Heart is feeling settled. Okay, so So as I'm talking, the clearing is still occurring. It happens like that. It starts unwinding. Unwinding. When I unwind, those knots feel open. And discerning. You can have an open heart, but it doesn't mean everyone gets to stomp on it. You can have an open heart and still, have an energy field around. Be like, my heart is universally open, but I'm not going to take any. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be a victim. I have an open heart, but I will say no. I will create boundaries. I know what I'm willing to accept and what I'm not willing to accept. You don't have to accept crumbs because you have an open heart. You have such a big heart that you can say, I love you, but you're not meeting me at the same level. And so I want to show up fully, but you're not showing up fully. So my love is that you get to go on your journey. I love you so much. I'm letting you go. Go figure out your own stuff. Because I'm not going to do that for you. Because if I did, you would never learn. Right? So now, I'm still feeling the heart. That's why we're not moving on to the other activation. Because the 5D heart is, I'm feeling it. Feeling it? Are you feeling it? If so, leave a message in the comments and let me know. Or give me some feedback. And I'm feeling it. It's really, it's expansive. It's different. And it feels a little bit like it's an enchanted heart, really. And this is part of the oneness, the universal heart, the divine heart that says that you and I were connected. But we're not going to connect from the 3D. We're going to connect from 5D where we can both meet at a higher level. And that is where, divine union happens. That's where sacred relationships happen. That's where you meet your soul tribe. We have our biological family, and sometimes they are in our life as teachers, but they are not particularly always. All of them are soul family. Our soul family are people we incarnate with over and over again. And when we're shut off, it's very hard to connect because our frequency is a bandwidth, and we're putting out that bandwidth all the time. So when you have your heart open and your frequency is going out, you're putting a call out to your soul family. The star beings, the star seeds that you are meant to co-create with. And this can bring blessings because you can create new kinds of relationship, new kinds of business or work or, love from this really higher place. We've all been doing the 3D thing and it's not really working, So the pain is a catalyst for change. It's not to be disregarded, dishonored. It's actually a beautiful part of our growth and honoring the process, honoring it. You're not going through something because you're being tortured or you're being, because you're a bad person. Sometimes we just need a swift kick in the, to make things happen. We have to make a shift. And we wouldn't do that because we're not moving fast enough. And we have to continue to progress. This energy is really thick and deep and powerful. And it's nonstop. The energy coming in is non-stop. It's 24/7, and it's only going to get more intense. So that is why it's important to get really connected and synced into your high heart, 5D heart, third eye. You want to start opening your consciousness to receive the incredible codes that are coming in. And part of that is healing and releasing. You can't keep going back to old ways. The old keys that used to work in the doors, they don't work anymore. You can just throw those babies away. You got to create new keys to unlock new doors, because we're in a different timeline than we were before. So if we want to do good on this timeline and have more synchronicity with the timeline, that would be going against the grain of it. We want to be going with the flow, right? Allowing that wave to take us higher. We are riding the cosmic wave of this universe. So life is happening, and we are all growing, and nobody is immune to the feelings that are coming up, because it triggers old wounds to surface. And again, that's an opportunity to heal. So know you're on your path. It doesn't matter what it looks like, because it looks different for everyone. And really never, ever be jealous of anyone else if you think, oh, their life is great, they're just smooth sailing. People say that about me sometimes, like, oh, you're so lucky, your life is so great. And I'm like, it is great. I love my life. And I have been through some heavy shit, I've had like 1,000 lives in one lifetime. I've been through some heinous things, and I came out of it, So I learned to trust that even if my heart's breaking, even if there's something going on, I have so much faith that I'm getting through it. I know that the 3D heart is breaking open, that the 5D heart is awakening, and a lot of old paradigm stuff has to die. Part of ourselves are constantly dying. Who we used to be. There have been so many parts of myself that I've had to do ceremonial burials for, because they have literally died. And I have had to allow that death process. And it's intense, and it's painful, and it's liberating. It's part of surrendering to the divine, and part of surrendering to the dark womb of this universe. We came from that darkness. That's the great void. The great void is where we come from. It's where we come out of. When we go through the womb, in the birth canal of the mother, and we come out into the world through that darkness into the light. And it's very true that on many levels we create and uncreate ourselves so many times, and especially in this particular life. And maybe past incarnations, we would just be like one little thing, and going on the same little road, being the same little person. In this lifetime, it's not like that. We are cycling through old karma. We are cycling through timelines. This is the fast track. This is the PhD program, okay? And so we are being called to keep moving and to not get stuck in the murky energy. If you need help, reach out, reach out, reach out. I do energy work, reach out to me. I have many friends that do it. There's so much help available. There's so much help available. You have to step out of your small monkey mind, and I'm not insulting you. I have a small monkey mind too. It's a small self. And then we have a big high self, like our higher self, right? So we want to tune into our higher self, because I have a small self too, and I can go down into that small self and be like a little victim, and I already know how that works out, so I realize, wow, I get so much more when I plug into my higher self, because that's wisdom, that's illumination, and I don't need to keep doing the old same patterns. Like, there are situations where you might feel like a victim. We've all been in situations where we've been victimized in different ways, and acknowledging that is so important within yourself. Speaking your truth, talking about it, acknowledging it, and also getting sacred, a sacred witness is very important, right? To be heard is very important. So find someone you can talk to. I do coaching sessions, I do healing sessions, I do goddess activation sessions, which is my healing modality that I have been gifted with through my process of my own, my own tears flowing and my own sorrow and sadness and all the stuff that I've gone through. And I've just been like, I surrender, like, just, I can't fight this. I'm going to allow parts of myself to die so I can open up to the bigger part of who I am, so I can choose to be a vessel of light. And through the process of my own healing journey, which is never ending, people, we just keep moving through layers. It's always ongoing. So no one is going to let you do. We're all working through it, and we're all learning how to deal with it in different ways. I used to have a very hypersensitive nervous system, so everything would just be so overwhelming, being an empath. And so I had to learn techniques and tools that would help me. And I always recommend that, you integrate meditation into your daily practice, at least 5 minutes, and not just 5 minutes, just breathing. Maybe I'll do a meditation video for you. But in the meantime, thank you for connecting, and I'll do another video for those galactic codes. But your 5D heart is part of the galactic code. That is what makes you a galactic being. Is your 5D heart. You're beautiful, unconditionally loving 5D heart, where we're not always wounded. We're not coming from a place of being wounded, so we're not always reacting like, it's like, I love you. I love you. I love you. And even if you can't be in my life, I love you, right? That's a 5D heart. It's unconditionally loving and understanding that everyone has their own journey, their own process. We're here to help each other, and that's why I created this channel. That's why I do my podcast, because I love you. I want you and I to have this opportunity in this lifetime to ascend to higher ground. We're here to be part of this magnificent process in this amazing life. So don't ever take it for granted and think you don't matter, because you do. You're part of this journey, and we are a collective. So every single time someone has a healing, an epiphany, We are piercing through that veil of illusion every single time. We are opening it up together. It is a community project. So my win is your win, and your win is my win. We don't win by putting each other down and degrading each other. That's 3D. We win by lifting each other up, knowing that no one is perfect, that we are allowed to go through the process, but we don't need to play 3D games anymore. It's just, you know, this doesn't work anymore, does it? It doesn't work for me. Everyone has their own journey, so we're moving it along together. So thank you for connecting. Thank you for joining. If you'd like to learn about me and my work, you can go to goddesscodeacademy.com. And it's been a pleasure to connect with your energy. I love you. You are blessed, and we are moving forward on this journey, whether we can see it or not. So much love. Please drink a lot of water and know that your heart is divine. Honor your heart, and your heart will also be honored.